The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Joe Douglas has finally spoken. He is alive. But is he a dead man walking? We will talk about what JD had to say about the 3-6 New York Jets. That and much more is what we'll break down in today's Jake Asman Show. Jeff Parles joins us in his weekly spot. So let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
We didn't let the outside noise and world divide us. That game right there represents exactly where the process of this thing is. We're all we got. We're all we need, man. That's it.
Your first win, man.
Yeah.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jet bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show. Big shout out to everyone who continues to watch the show each and every day. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I got my brand new Huga House hat. We're presented today by Huga House. Get the hat I'm wearing. It's one of their 6 brand new ones, or any of the other hats on their website. 15% off when you use the promo code ASMAN at checkout. Buy one hat. Second hat is 30% off. Shout out to Huga House for being a part of our program. Joining us right now in his weekly spot on the show is the great Jeff Parles, live from Las Vegas. Hello, Jeff.
Good afternoon, my friend. Good afternoon. I'm hoping that today breaks the streak of my internet breaking in the middle of the show. We're 2 for our last 2. Hope to not make it 3, which probably means it'll probably happen in the next 10 minutes, Jake. So always hopeful. Always hopeful. I as soon as I saw that Joe Douglas talk today, I sent it to you. I'm like, oh my God, he's alive. He's not a ghost anymore.
He's alive. He might be a dead man walking, but he's alive. Now, Jeff, don't worry about your internet. I already had today's tech screw up. I connected my webcam mic instead of my microphone right here. So for those of you who caught the beginning of the show, my sincere apologies for it sounding like I'm sure I was underwater. But anyway, here's what we'll do. So Joe Douglas spoke for about 10 minutes. I put together what I thought were the most important 2 minutes of the 10 minutes. So here we go. The best of Joe Douglas speaking to the media for the first time since this disastrous New York Jets season began.
Just what are your thoughts just about how this season is broke down and just everything that's happened, that's taking place?
Obviously not where anyone envisioned us being right now at 3-6, coming out of training camp. But I do think after Thursday night game, the way we finished that game, the way we came out in the second half, I think Brick had a great message to the team on Monday. Just saying, like, look, guys, none of this started the way we wanted to start it, but we still have everything in front of us. Every goal we want to accomplish is still out in front of us, and so it starts with a tough opponent in Arizona this weekend.
We haven't talked to you since, I think, right before the season started. You mentioned Robert. What was your feeling about that? Did you agree with that decision?
Yeah, I know. Woody spoke afterwards. I don't really have anything to add, any comment to add. All I can say is that since that decision's been made, all my energy, all my focus has been doing whatever I can to help Brick, his staff, in the locker room turn this thing around. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Are you concerned about your future with the team, Joe?
No. I come in here every day. Just want to do whatever I can to help this team reach its goals. It gets to its destination, and whatever happens.
Have you talked to Woody about your future?
Woody and I talk every day. I'm not going to get into details about any of our conversations, but singular focus right now is the Cardinals and trying to improve on this record.
Joe, what have you observed about your interim head coach?
Oh yeah, Brick. Brick is he has a unique ability to make really authentic connections with everyone. Obviously, him being a former player, a guy that's gone through a lot of adversity and overcome a lot of adversity. I think he really speaks authentically to the players, and I think you've heard it said by some of our players on other shows or broadcasts, but he's a real dude, and I think that comes through in the way that he communicates, not only one-on-one but with the entire group.
All right, so the best of JD there, just to basically sum it all up. This is from Rich Samini, who was one of the beat reporters there, looking at Joe Douglas outside the Jet facility. Declined to say whether he agreed with Woody's decision to fire Saleh, saying there's nothing further to add. On being excluded from that decision, Douglas says he serves as the pleasure of the owner. I believe it's at the pleasure of the owner. Still hopeful they can make a playoff run, citing improvement versus Houston. On whether he's worried about his own job security, I come in here every day, just do whatever I can to help this team reach its goals and get to its destination. Whatever happens, happens. Jeff, your big takeaway from hearing JD was?
I'm surprised Woody Johnson didn't just do the Ari Gold scene from Entourage with "Get the bleep out" at this point, Jake. I mean, look, it sounded like the guy is not going to be employed by the New York Jets at the end of the season unless if something miraculous happens these last 8 games, right? So it sounded like to me.
We can't really stand on his record. He's 30-62.
No,
This was supposed to be the year, and they're 3-6.
No, he's really got no leg to stand on at this point. I mean, we've talked about it the last few weeks, ever since they fired Bob. Not Bob. By the way, hold on. So speaking of Bob, Bobby Midnight, congratulations on being 1-0 on the year. But Jake, you might have to find more tickets for Bobby Midnight moving forward for the home games.
He was very unhappy with the tickets we got him. He was upset.
Are they not good enough?
No, we had 2 sections, Jeff, full of Asmaniacs. It was randomly assigned, and Bobby thinks I stuck him in like the worst section of the 2.
Bobby, there's no conspiracy on that. I promise you on that. But no, look, it's just sounds like a dead man walking, Jake. It just all it is. And for this franchise again, and I know we'll get into it on the results of what transpired over the last day plus in the presidential race. You just have to wonder how much organizational change is going to happen over the next year now. Let's assume that the Jets don't go on this miraculous run and make the playoffs or win a playoff game, make the playoffs and win a playoff game. Okay, let's assume that doesn't happen. The odds obviously are very much stacked against them. You have to assume that, and I know we were going to talk about this later, but I'll bring it up now because I think it's all pertains to Douglas's future with this team also. I think we have to operate under the assumption that Chris Johnson is going to be running this team starting next February. I think we have to be under that assumption that Woody Johnson is going to take some position within the incoming administration, whether it's going back to the UK as the ambassador or something else. You have to imagine that that's going to happen. Obviously, there's Woody right there. I was in Nevada, no less. Of course it was.
You were at that rally, right?
Not quite. But no, I'll just say this, Jake. I don't know. With Christopher Johnson's hit again, with the few years that Christopher Johnson was there, obviously made the cataclysmic mistake of Gase. He knows he made the cataclysmic mistake of that. He knows it. He knows it. He as you've said, he's acknowledged that plenty in the past, that he knows he made a mistake of hiring Adam Gase. And I'm just curious if the Jets' decision making this go around, when right now there's only 2 jobs in the NFL available right now for next season, the Jets and the Saints. That won't be it. There'll probably be a quarter of the league because there's always a quarter of the league available in the head coaching ranks. You're going to have probably a GM slot open as well. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how long it takes for Woody Johnson to take a role in the incoming administration, and how does that impact what the Jets do moving forward? And really, that's why, like today for Douglas, like if there was not an incoming job for Woody Johnson in the incoming administration, yeah, my thought's a little bit different here. Joe Douglas would 100% be gone, but I mean, let's be real with ourselves. Woody Johnson, if he's offered a job in the administration, is going to take it, regardless of what it is. And with Chris, I don't know. I think everyone in the Johnson family should be aligned at this point of, hey, all right, we got to bring in a new GM. And if anything, if it's Chris Johnson, I think there will be a little more willingness to back away after the GM hire. Let the GM go hire the coach, and then that's your duo. Hopefully for at least for 4 years or longer. Hopefully that's your duo, Jake. I think if it is Chris Johnson, I don't think it matters at this point. I don't think it matters at this point which Johnson's in charge of the team. Douglas is going to be out. It's just a matter of the replacement for Douglas and what type of search that ends up being for the Jets with Woody Johnson. Again, I don't expect Woody Johnson to be running the team the next 4 years.
I don't either.
I expect him to have a job in the Trump administration for sure.
Yeah, I do too. But I'll say this, just about Douglas in particular.
Yeah,
I agree. If they miss the playoffs, he should be gone. He's had enough time. He's had 6
years.
If
they miss the playoffs, he should honestly, on the day the Jets are eliminated, whether it's in December or January or whatever, the day after eliminated, Joe Douglas should be fired. Period. Doesn't
I want to make
matter.
it clear. I agree. But to play devil's advocate here, I don't think it's as foregone of a conclusion as many make it out to be. What I mean by that is, let's say the Jets go 8-9, Jeff. Chris Johnson is running the team. He was there when they hired Joe Douglas. It was his hire. Now, here's the scenario I could see playing out. Rodgers looks pretty good down the stretch. He wants to come back next year. Devontae's going to be back next year. I could see the scenario, and I wouldn't agree with this necessarily, but I don't think it's crazy, where Chris Johnson looks at it and goes, I think this GM is the best GM we've had out of the last 3 for sure. The record stinks. I get that. But
what a collection, though.
I know. Once again, this is not my idea. He might look at it like, I don't know if I'm capable of hiring a better GM than Joe Douglas, who's flawed, but at least this year's team, we all agree, is the most talented team they've had in a long time. What if we let Douglas get a mulligan and hire another coach? But the problem with that would be, well, don't you got to draft a quarterback too? So you're going to let him get another coach, another quarterback in the first round, when the 2 biggest decisions he made, Saleh and Zach Wilson, are 2 of the worst you'll see. I wouldn't agree with it, but I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world that if they're 8-9, Christopher Johnson or Woody, whoever at that point, is like, we were a coach away with this talent from being a playoff team. Let's let Joe pick a coach. Maybe it's Rex and Joe Douglas. Maybe it's like, someone along those lines with like a finite window to try and maximize the talent on the team with Rodgers back for 1 more year with Devontae. I'm just saying, I don't think it's improbable something like that could happen. If they go, 6-13, or it wouldn't make any sense. What would be 6-11? 6-11. I think Douglas is gone. But what if they're 9-8 and they miss the playoffs on tiebreakers? Like, I don't know if it's as foregone of a conclusion that Joe is gone no matter what as maybe some make it out to be. Am I nuts?
If they go 9-8, they're getting in, Jake.
What if they don't, though? What if it's like 2015, the 10-6, they miss the playoffs?
I think they're going to make. I think if they get to 9, I think they're going to make it. The concern in that scenario would be that the stupid Broncos lost more so than anything. But I think 9's going to be enough to get in this version of the AFC. I don't think they're getting to 9. I think that's the bigger issue. Look, man. I mean, I'm still what we've talked about this whole time. They screwed up by not getting rid of everyone last offseason. They could have
at least the head coach. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Douglas is part of the problem too, but they could have at least changed the culture and everything. We've been over this 30 times in the last month. I don't know. I just don't see a path unless the Jets make the postseason, and I even think win a game. I just don't see Douglas, and in that scenario, the interesting one, we haven't brought Brick up. I know you talked about Ulbrich this morning with Will a little bit, but you're in a scenario with Ulbrich where he's kind of in the same boat here as Douglas, right? Like these guys need to keep winning in order to keep their jobs. For Jeff Bulbrick to have any chance whatsoever of getting the permanent job, he has to make the playoffs. Like, no choice. Like, if he doesn't make the playoffs, he has no chance of getting this job. But look, it's Douglas seemed like a dead man walking today, and we look, and Jake, just looking forward to this game this weekend. This is a brutal matchup for the Jets. Just the way that Arizona plays, this is a very tough game for the Jets. I thought it was going to be before the year, but the Cardinals have ended up being a real team, which was not what I expected halfway through the season.
If they're going to win, they're going to have to go out there and score points, Jeff. I totally agree with you. Yeah, this offense is going to have to go out there and build on what was the best half of football they've arguably played all season. No doubt about that. As far as the line in this game, you're out in Vegas. You analyze this stuff for a living. Yeah. It went from what Cardinals were like -1.5 to now I saw it's a pick 'em in a lot of spots. What do you read into that?
I made it Arizona 1. So there's not much difference between one pick. Like, you're basically picking the winner at that point. 1.5, you get a little bit in the gray area because you can get NFL games that land 1. We see it all the time. But I think the line's right. I'm not surprised the Jets are getting bet. People still have them highly power rated. We had a discussion last week against Houston, which we were right. The Jets did win that game. It wasn't pretty the way they got there, but they got there.
I didn't feel good at halftime, by the way.
No, oh God, Jesus! At halftime, I thought that the whole stadium was going to totally revolt, and I wouldn't have blamed them at that point. Look, in all honesty, if it wasn't for Peter Castro's boy Malachi Corley, would have had a different discussion at halftime anyway, Jake. But look, it's this is a tough game, man. This is a very well coached Arizona team with Kyler Murray playing the second best ball he's played in his NFL career. The only time he was better was when they made the playoffs a few years ago when they were the last undefeated team in the NFL. They have Connor's a little banged up, but they have a good stable of running backs behind him. I think James Conner's the most underrated running back in the NFL at this point. They have a good enough offensive line. They have one elite high-end young player in Marvin Harrison Jr., who they are still trying to figure out exactly his usage. They have good receivers behind him. Trey McBride is a great tight end. Forget the Jet. I'll get to the Jet offense in a second and how they have to win the game. I'm really concerned about the Jet defense in this game, Jake, because Arizona runs the ball well. The Jets don't stop the run, even though they did better in the second half against Houston. They have a great tight end, like I said, McBride. Historically speaking, the Jets have struggled covering the tight end. They have more than just one competent wide receiver. And in a year where, look, I know the numbers don't back me up, but the eye test tells me the corners have not played as well this year. This is a brutal matchup for the Jets defense where you got to see the peak 22-23 defense show up in this game. If you get the version of the defense we've gotten for the bulk of 2024, the Jets are going to give up 35 points in this game. And you're not winning this game if you have to get into the high 30s to win this game. Even with, again, I think the Jet offense found something in the second half last week. Devontae Adams looked like Devontae Adams. Garrett Wilson's been, I know we've gotten on Garrett a bunch for the bad things that have happened, but Garrett Wilson is very quietly having a great season. Yet again, just the guy produces numbers. He just does. And look, that offensive line situation is not good right now, especially in the interior. Morgan Moses is a warrior. We've talked about that, Jake. What a warrior that guy is to fight through it and actually look competent. I thought Tyron was much better. I saw what your chat was going to be, and I do have thoughts on that, Jake.
I hit the wrong button, but you know what? Screw it. Boomtown.
Yeah.
Jeff, does Vegas take into account the most recent Call of Duty game is now out?
Great question. And you know what the funny part of this is, Boomtown? My co-host on my football show on Monday and Thursdays brought this up last week. Because remember, the game came out last week, Jake. And part of the reason my co-host, and I love my co-host Ryan McCormick on that show, young buck, Bears fan, was convinced the Bears were going to win because of that reason that Boomtown just brought up. Obviously, we saw what happened last week. Arizona played a phenomenal game and beat the hell out of the Bears. So, no, we don't, because that was out last weekend before that game started on Sunday. So it's a good question though with Kyler. We know historically he's had problems balancing tape and video games. But back to the Jets offense real quick, Jake. Those guard position, I got to give Olu credit, and give Olu credit for going in there, and guys never played guard before. And he held up really darn well after the injury to John Simpson. I hope John Simpson's able to play, because if he's not, I mean, look, they held up well enough on the interior last week. Arizona's defensive play calling is among the strangest in the NFL, and I mean that in the nicest way that I can, because they confuse the hell out of offenses a lot. It's very similar to what Brian Flores in Minnesota did. We saw how the Jets struggled against them for the most part in that game in London. So this is a brutal matchup, Jake. And if the Jets, and I'll tell you this, if the Jets find a way to win this game, Jake,
season's alive.
You got a Sunday afternoon game against Flacco, who's looking like Jet Flacco right now, in your house to get the 5-6. You're alive if you're 5-6 going into the bye week. You're alive. As ridiculous as it is, they're alive.
How great, by the way.
5-6. What was that?
How great, by the way, that it did get flexed, baby. Jets out of the prime time.
No, you know what, Jake? It's the best possible thing that could have happened. The best possible thing that could have happened, because now you're less pressure on yourselves, because the whole country's now watching. If you lose, people aren't going to get on you as much. Oh, you lost to Joe Flacco again in prime time again for the second consecutive year. But no, I think it's great. And it's great for the season ticket holders. Let's be real, Jake. Getting the game back in Sunday afternoon is great for the season ticket holders. You get your normal 1 o'clock kickoffs, which is, again, you love having those primetime games, because when you have more primetime games, it means you're good. But those 1 o'clock games, there's just something about getting the day going and starting out right away and having your team play right away in that first fight.
Completely agree. I mean, the Jets have only had to this point 1 o'clock game at home all year. Their next one was not going to be till after the bye week, December 1st, against Geno and the Seahawks. And, ultimately, the 1 o'clock home game they did have this year, Jeff, it was in a monsoon, and the season ticket holder got crushed against Denver. At least we got this moment before the game. And ladies and gentlemen, Neil is first up today on the Gus Buster Hotline. Hello, Neil.
What's up, gentlemen? How are you?
Neil,
Neil, how you doing today?
Jeff, drinking a lot of tears today. But I don't want to talk politics. I promised I would not talk anything about politics. I got my Jake Asman hat on here.
Very nice.
I guess I have to do a little more crazy shit to get in the top 10 of the caller list,
Look, you got to take it up with the committee chair. You got to
maybe
talk to
maybe I'll have to get nude and run around the house a few times, do something
No,
outlandish.
please don't do that, my friend.
No, I'm kidding around. I don't do those things. But I listened to JD's commentary today. Look, he really thinks we're going to play like we did the second half of this past game. And if we do, it'd be about time. And in order to win, we have to have consistency. Now, Jeff, I know you're ringing the bell of the Cardinals here, like we're playing the Kansas City Chiefs here Sunday. I mean, let's take a deep breath here, okay?
They're good.
Take a deep breath.
Neil.
I know they're a good team. I'm not saying they're not a good team.
It's more that I think this is a horrible matchup for the Jets than Arizona is like a Super Bowl contender. they're a potential NFC West champion with the way that division's gone for sure. But I just don't like this matchup for the Jets.
I agree with you in one way.
Yeah.
Their offense matches up really well against our defense. I agree with
100%.
that.
Yeah.
But our offense, I think, matches up well against their defense because I don't think they have the pass rush power that we've been facing the last couple of weeks. And I think that works in our favor a little bit. And I don't think their defensive corners are really that special. They don't have a special corner like we've been facing the last few weeks. Do you agree with that, Mr. Parles?
Look, if the Jets are going to win this game, they're going to have to do really the blueprint to beat Arizona is what Green Bay did earlier in the year, which is dominate when you have the ball and force Kyler Murray into bad decisions.
Right.
That's the blueprint. And Green Bay kicked the hell out of Arizona. Now, granted, that was an outdoor game in inclement weather, which is a huge advantage to Green Bay, even though it didn't work for them last week. But look, you are right. This defense of Arizona, even though they do some things I really like, they really do. Their scheme is very bizarre. So they're good at confusing the quarterbacks. They do, even though they don't have elite pass rushers, they do create pressure in the pocket. But their corners are not good. I agree with you on that. So if the Jet offensive line, and that's why these interior issues concern me a little bit, if the Jets give Aaron Rodgers enough time to pick apart this defense, the Jets are going to score in this game.
Jeff, I think Rodgers has a big game too, by the way. Indoor environment. It wouldn't
shock me one bit. And Jake, he always plays well there.
Yeah, and he's not on the injury report. He wasn't kidding about being the healthiest he's been. This is the first time since week 4 Aaron Rodgers was a full participant today at Jet practice. He said he feels like a jackrabbit with the amount of energy he has, so the extra rest did him well. If they protect him, I think we see vintage Rodgers Sunday. It's just how many points is going to be enough to win if Arizona's feasting on the Jet weaknesses here? That's the question.
So Jake, Neil, I'll just bring this up real quick. So the total, Jake, we usually just talk about this point spread, but the total's been hit more than the point spread this week. People out here think this game's an over game. It started at 44. It's moved to 46. I agree with the move. I really do think that in order for oh boy, he's got the cayenne pepper.
I've been drinking it nonstop, man. It's been unreal.
I have root beer today, so we're going opposite directions with making.
My colon hasn't been this clean in years, Jeff. Cayenne pepper, man.
Jake, you're funny. What? I just saw a thing go on my phone. The Jet injury report just came out. Would you guys go over that already?
Well, that's what I was referring to. Rodgers is. I think they're going to get Tony Adams back this week. It sounds like Simpson's got a chance to play. AVT, I'd be surprised if he does play as far as the notable injuries.
Do you really think Olu's going to play guard again? What do you think on that one?
I think he should. He's a first-round pick. He's got the talent to do it.
I mean, if you give him a week of practice, I think he'll be legitimate there, and we'll be fine on that front. I was supposed to go to this game and have a golf weekend with my kids. I turned down this game and canceled it. That's another plus you could put in the Jet column because I will not be in attendance. So that is a very big plus. And I will, I will say, I don't want to set myself up as the Jet jinx here. That's going to be a really bad thing. I don't want to get in the habit of saying that I'm some kind of jinx or something when I do with the Jets, because that's just not a fact. All right. Because I have seen winning football on the Jets. I've seen Super Bowls. I've seen championship games in person. Granted, I was only 8 years old, but I did see it. Okay. So I will say we have a good chance here. I love Sunday. I'm looking forward to the game. I agree with you, Jeff. I think it's going to be an over game for sure. The key in this game is to us to get on them early. Well, I will say this. If we get up on them early, 14-10 or 14-3 at half, I don't know if they're going to be able to score if we pin our ears back and start getting after him. Who's their backup quarterback, by the way? Because we may be seeing him on Sunday if we get a big lead.
Yeah, I know. If the Jets see Clayton Tune, the Jets.
What's his name? Clayton Tune is their
backup? I covered him in Houston. He was the University of Houston quarterback.
They got rid of Ritter, who's now going to be the Desmond Ritter, who's probably going to be the quarterback of the Raiders the rest of the way. Boy, You think we have it bad? Look at what the Raiders are doing, bringing in freaking North Turner to save their offense.
Why? They needed a fresh perspective on things.
Jake,
Oh God,
Jake, if I was in the position that you were in New York of doing local radio here in Vegas, I would be having a ball right now going after the Raiders with how bad that situation is right now.
Let's have Brady call the plays.
Brady might be the head coach next year at this time. I mean, it's just that bad. But now, look, Neil, you're right. It is number one to this game. And look, the Jets got away with it last week because Houston had all sorts of issues, and the Jet defense finally played a reasonable game. You got to get out early in this game because this is if you fall in a 2-score hole, you're asking a lot. Even with the defensive weaknesses on Arizona, if you're in a 2-score hole, you can't.
I think though, but Jeff, I think our chances of coming back in a game like that is, I give us a better shot of coming back than giving them a better shot of coming back if there's a 2-score lead, because they can't get the pass rush, and I think that we can, and that's the difference in the game, and especially with Kyle Murray.
Maybe look,
Kyle Murray is going to make mistakes if he's pressured. He's going to make mistakes. And we have the speed on the edge.
Neil, I'm just telling you, Kyler Murray's been, other than the Green Bay game, and again, that's why getting a nice lead and letting your defense pin their ears back is a good way to go about it. But this is a different version of Kyler Murray this year.
Yeah, he looks good. He's on a mission.
He's been awesome so far this year. If it wasn't for all those guys at the top just playing at just obscene levels, we'd be Kyler Murray being the MVP discussion right now.
Jake, I've made all 13 of my points. Before you cut me off again, I'm going to throw myself out this goddamn window.
Good Neil call there to start us off. Love that. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We're struggling right now, man. You can tell the Jets have not played since Thursday. Only 340 people watching live right now.
I'm going to be honest with you, Jake. It feels like that game on Halloween was 4 years ago.
I know. It really does. And this is always what happens, too. It felt this way the last time they played Thursday. I just hope it's a different result this time.
Vibes are a little different. Even off of a win, the vibes are a lot different going into that Denver game.
Oh, yeah. 2-1, 9-point favorites at home, and then a 5-game losing streak. Unreal. Yeah. Only the Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, I got something that will cheer us up. I openly said on the show, it might have been yesterday or the day before, where is Charles Eugene M. Gorman? I want to hear from him. I know he was a little under the weather for a bit, but he's apparently feeling better. So, ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to our guy, Charles.
Hey, Charles! You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. Hey, Charles! I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
Charles.
Hello. First, I just want to apologize for talking a little bit of politics on the Discord yesterday. It got some people fired up, a little upset. I don't regret voicing my opinion, but I do regret speaking politics on the Discord. So my apologies to everyone that's watching.
It's okay, Charles. We're a free country. We're gonna be unified, Charles. That's what it's all about. We're all Asmaniacs on this channel.
Anyways, it's good to see you again, Mr. Parles.
I thought you were going to call him Mr. President at first, and then calling him Parles, but his last name is Parles.
No, I was actually going to call him Pearls.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Jake, don't worry. I've heard them all.
My last name was Asman, Jeff, so I've heard a lot as well.
You're Cosmo Kramer, right?
That's right.
Charles, what do you think for this weekend? Do you think?
I think we do have a shot of winning. Just comes down to execution and preparedness. Because the last time we had a 10-day off, I can't even talk straight. The last time we were off 10 days, we showed up flat as a doormat against the Broncos. Hopefully, this time around things are different. Be honest with you, as for Mr. Joe Douglas, I know a lot of people have mixed feelings on the man. I think this is his last year, regardless. I don't think he's coming back.
I mean, it's more likely than not you're gonna be right because the team's 3-6. He doesn't have a contract beyond this year, and his record is 30-62. I'm just saying people are acting like it's a guarantee he's gone. I would agree it's more likely than not he's not here. I'm not willing to say no matter what. The 9-8 they missed the playoffs, he's still gone. I think there's some scenarios, even 8-9, they look good down the stretch. He maybe could be back.
But yeah, I know a lot of Jet fans have mixed feelings of also the trade of Mike Williams. I think it's kind of a good trade for both the Jets and the Steelers, especially the Steelers in particular. But I'm glad we got a 2025 fifth round pick, which is not going to help us win now, but could help us win in the future. And plus, Mike Williams was sparingly used. Even when I love Mike Williams. I think he's a great receiver. I think he's going to be a great compliment to George Pickens. I think as a special receiver when he gets the ball in his hands. But, we got Devontae Adams. Hopefully Malachi Corey gets his head out of his ass and doesn't pull another Deshaun Jackson where he's wide open in the end zone and he fumbles the ball. I was like, you dumbass. I'm sure Deshaun Jackson's probably watching that and be like,
hey, Charles, question for you.
Yes?
The moment on your show the other day where you passed gas. What happened there?
What are you talking about? Excuse me. I don't know, man. I just farted, man. Sometimes when you gotta rip one, you just gotta rip one, man.
That's the best answer. I love it, Charles. I love it.
But no, seriously,
I love it.
I wanted to do a hangout stream longer the last time, but I was a little bit exhausted. I told a lot of my friends I've been going to IOP therapy these past couple of weeks. You okay?
You don't find that funny, Charles?
I do find it funny, but I'm trying to be serious as well. So
it's very. You can understand where I'm coming from. It's hard to be serious in this moment.
I know.
Okay, continue. I'll be serious now with you. Go ahead.
I was the reason why I haven't been on the Discord or on the channel because I've been IOP group therapy these past couple of weeks. To really help with my mental health, I recommend, and this is not just because of what happened, but I recommend everyone trying to strengthen their mental health. Mental health is very important. It's just as important as our physical health because mental health helps contribute to our happiness, helps contribute to our longevity. It helps contribute to our strength and our spirit and stuff like that. So,
Amen,
so yeah,
Charles.
I think mental health is very strong because, a lot of our pro athletes, have very strong mental health. A lot of war veterans have taken some therapy for their mental health. So it's very good that people strengthen their mental health. So anyways, I'm going to get going. I'm going to go out to eat today. We're celebrating my father's birthday is tomorrow, but we're celebrating it tonight.
Happy birthday to Dennis Gorman, everybody.
He'll be 66 tomorrow.
That's awesome. Should I get Bobby Midnight to sing happy birthday to him?
Nah, don't worry about it. I'll just tell, but thank you. I appreciate it, though. And it was good to be back on your show. I know people have missed me for so long. People are asking, Charles, when are you coming back on Jake's show? When are you coming back on Jake's show? I was like, man, I've been busy. But you know what? Keep doing your thing, Jake. God bless and have a good day.
Amen, Charles. Great to hear from you. I'm glad you're doing well. Great message you sent, and continue to be the greatest.
Hi, I'm Charles, and I'm going to talk about Spider-Man and movies and sports and video games and maybe hot chicks.
Incredible.
Hey, look,
Incredible.
Man, look. When you just got to rip one, you got to rip one. That was honestly, he's 100% right. 100% right, Jake.
I love it. Oscar the Grouch says, Jake, why do you put Jeff through this? Jeff, am I putting you through something that's not enjoyable right now?
I appreciate all the Asmaniacs, Jake.
That's well said. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with your calls right now. We got another heavy hitter on the line. The great Robert C. is next. Hey, Robert.
Hi, Jake. I was going to talk about Mike Williams also. Did you ever think that maybe he might help the Steelers and he could take the last spot over us because of Williams?
I guess it's possible, Robert, but when you look at the AFC standings, I'll pull it up right here, and Jeff, certainly want your take on this. Yeah. Like, Pittsburgh is so far ahead of where the Jets are at this point, like at 6-2. Like, I guess the Jet thought process was they're giving us a fifth for a guy we know is not here next year. It's the best deal we could get. We might as well take it. Like, we're not worried about Pittsburgh. They're the 3 seed right now. We're the 10 seed, just trying to basically fight for the 7 seed.
So,
but the Steelers or the Ravens will probably get the wild card, one of the wild cards.
I would agree.
Yeah. So Robert, just real quick on what you were saying there. First off, Jake, I haven't even said my thoughts on the Williams trade. Very disappointing to see that this is how the Jet tenure with him went.
Yep.
I love that signing when it happened. It just didn't work. And in a market that, other than Jerry Jones not knowing how draft picks work, a market that was very bearish for wide receivers, the Jets actually did okay. So no problem with it. Robert, for your concern, look, I think Pittsburgh, they have a brutal schedule their last 9 games. But Pittsburgh, knowing Mike Tomlin, they'll probably go 4-5 in those games and get to 10 wins. 10 wins definitely gets you in this go-around. I don't think the Jets are looking at the Steelers as, hey, that's the team we have to catch. The Jets have to catch.
Well, they 3 or 4 games ahead of the Jets.
Yeah, it's 6-2 versus 3-6. So they're 3.5 with the tiebreaker. You're not catching Pittsburgh, realistically speaking.
And Corley looked great on that play, except for the error. I mean, that's an indication. I'm not sure how he's going to do, but he looked pretty good on that play, except what happened.
So the look for just a playout, like if we're to go, Jake, to take what we were saying 2 weeks ago, if we're going to be delusional fans here for a second, the Jet path to the playoffs really goes through 2 of the 3 continuing to not play well. The Chargers, who I think are making the playoffs because they're very well coached, despite the fact that I really don't think they're that good.
You can add the Dolphins.
Harbaugh. That's all that is with the Chargers. The Bengals and the Broncos. I'm not really concerned about Miami. Miami's schedule is not particularly easy, and I don't think they're that good. I think they're in the same. I think they're in worse shape.
I'm only saying that because they're playing the Jets twice.
Yeah, look, very simple. You don't win those 2 Miami games, you're not getting in anyway. So it will work itself out with the Dolphins one way or another. So we'll see. But in the end, look, I think to just answer your original question, what Jake said's right. You're not concerned with him. You don't play Pittsburgh again unless if you play him in the playoffs. And if that's the case, you're happy to be in that spot.
Is Jake going to Miami?
That's still my
with
plan.
The round table, right?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where the Jets are at that point. If they're,
by the way,
you might as well go to Jacksonville. I was thinking if they win at the Jets in contention, you may as well go to Jacksonville.
Well, Robert, I'll tell you what. If you're going to Jacksonville, I'll think about it. All right.
Oh, I don't think I can go anywhere the next year. I mean, my wife's doing rehab with her knee and stuff like that. I mean, so I'm hoping, if I come up to New York, maybe next year, hopefully.
How is your wife doing? She's got a beautiful singing voice.
Yeah, 25. Bobby said on a show that I don't know, you watched it. Bobby said Tammy can't sing.
I think she could sing.
25, 25.
In the year 25, 25.
25, 25.
Is he ever gonna stay alive?
25, 25.
Pretty good, Robert. Pretty good.
And Lane isn't that bad either.
Oh, Lane's great. Your internet connection is the best it's ever been. What did you do, Robbie? You figured out how to use the computer?
I don't know. Last night it was pretty bad. It was dropping. It was connecting and disconnecting. It's a great speed and everything. We're using a Zumo box now. But it was connecting and disconnect, but the speed is great now.
Well, keep doing whatever you're doing, all right?
All right. I'm going to try to get up higher in the rankings here.
All right. You got it, Robert. Great call. Robert C. Was that your first Robert C. call?
It's actually a good question on like the Williams thing, because I know there were some that were like, wait, why are they Jets doing it? But look,
the timing feels weird, Jeff, is the only thing I'll say about it.
I agree with you because of the Lazard injury.
Right. If Lazard was healthy, I get it. You're getting a fifth or fourth wide receiver, but right now he's your number 3 wide receiver. Maybe we see more Conklin in the offense. Maybe they use Brees a little more.
Based off what Rodgers was saying today, look,
he wants Herb Charles to get targets.
Look, if Herb Charles is playing offense, it means it's less time for him to make a boneheaded special teams play once every other week. So, but I don't know, man. I agree with you. The timing was weird, but they did as well as you could have asked at that point. Again, where take out Jerry Jones, like wide receivers were basically getting nothing back at this trade deadline.
I mean, the Mingo trade for
Oh, that was the most ridiculous thing you're ever
a
going.
fourth is insane.
Yeah, I mean, it just Jerry's brain is mush at this point. Let's just go with that, Jake.
This guy's brain might be mush because he's a Jet fan. Purple Belt Mike is next. Hey, Mike.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Mike, you're wearing Jet gear again. I didn't think I'd see the day.
I wore my Jet shit to work today too.
I know. Look at this. Yeah.
I'm holding out to hope. You know, hopefully the Jets can pull out a victory. You know, maybe Woody might go to Trump, so maybe we get a Trump victory and we win on Sunday. But I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm with Jeff. I think we're gonna lose. I think it's a rough matchup because of the quarterback. But if we can be proven wrong, then hopefully we can get it going. But
are you sucked back in if they win?
I'm right there if we win. Because I told myself 6-6, get to 6-6, and then I'm back to being a psychopath. But you know, I'm trying to be grounded. It's just, man, the hope I had for this season, and we're 3-6, is just wild. But whatever, man. Hopefully it's God bless America and God bless the New York Jets.
Ladies and gentlemen, Purple Belt Mike.
Let's get bricked up.
They'll be bricked up if they win.
Hey, Jake, you win a few games in a row. Your bricked up merchandise might start selling again.
I know. It's still up. JakeAsman.com. I don't even know if anyone's bought a T-shirt yet because we had it like set for the Monday night game and then they lost and then I never promoted it again because I was embarrassed. But don't worry. If the Jets win Sunday, we've already brought back bricked up for the week because they won a game. But if they win Sunday, I'll be sleeping with the brick again. All right.
Oh, Jesus.
I have it ready to go. They just got to win a game.
Well, I'll just say this, Jake, and I know we got at least a few more here, but you got to get at this point. Getting to 5-6 by the bye is your only realistic chance, right? Yep. Like if you get the 5-6 at the bye, okay. After the bye, just that Buffalo game, the Jets will definitely be an underdog in that game. Other than that, they'll probably be a small dog in Miami, but that's a winnable game, and they'll be favored in the home games. Even though those NFC West teams are solid, they'll be favored in those games, Jake. So, look, it's as crazy as it is. You get to the bye week at 5-6, it's all still there for the taking.
It's all in front of us, baby. To quote Aaron Boone, it's all right there in front of us. All right, here we go. More of your calls right now. Get hyped. Get excited. It's Bobby time.
Oh, you know I like the Yankees and the Jets. Can't believe Jake and Roger met. I'm more than just a hat on Bobby.
I wanted to tell Robert, see, last night I met she can sing, not can't sing. I had the words mixed up.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to sing to Charles Gorman's father, too.
Okay, well, you know what? Just do it. Why not?
Okay, well, let me talk to Jeff first. All right, I miss Jeff. Hi, Jeff. How you doing?
Bobby, good to see you.
Do you see our video?
Bobby, we're gonna have to get you. We're gonna have to get you. And I'm putting Jake on the spot here. We're gonna have to find a way if the Jets win on Sunday against Arizona.
We're gonna get kidnapped on November 30th.
We're gonna have to get
dates coming up to kidnap us and bring us down.
Oh,
okay. Addison's gonna be there too.
The way you
said come up with
yeah, Jeff, you know Nate, you know Addison. You go way back with them.
Yeah, look, I'll tell you.
You know Nate who rides the bicycle, with
Bobby, you just got to get your ass to MetLife Stadium.
We're going, baby.
Hey, Bobby, maybe you should move in at MetLife Stadium like what Baker Mayfield did when he was in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah, with his hot wife. Yeah, the commercials. Yeah, I remember that. Did you see our video, Jeff?
No, I saw
some. Go to Discord and see the video.
Jake sent me some content. I of course saw the video.
Some content was very good.
You in the parking lot, and then
I was smoking some ayahuasca.
Very good.
That was ayahuasca, Jake.
A couple things. It was not, and it's not ayahuasca. It's ayahuasca with an A.
Ayahuasca. It was ayahuasca. Ask Nate. He told me it was.
Nate might be twisting your leg a little bit.
No, I don't think he was. No, you weren't
Okay.
even there. You were on the other
I was
side.
there. I was there.
He drew us in the,
I saw you smoking it. It was
section.
weed. It was
He-
weed. Duh.
He drew us in the other section, Jeff. Everybody was in one section over there. Nice.
I didn't throw you in the other section.
Yeah.
I need the whole story on this.
You started. You
What
told
happened?
him at the first. You started it. So
No,
I'm
I
in
didn't.
there.
I didn't, Bobby. Here's what happened.
You
We were all
told-
randomly assigned tickets, and guess what?
Guess
you got
what?
tickets in section 128. You were Phenom was in your section. We had people that called into the show this week that sat near you that are asthmatics. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but we wanted over there. You had Chef.
What do you mean we wanted over there? I didn't know where everyone was ahead of time.
Okay, well,
the tickets were sent out in June.
Okay, listen to this. Jeff.
No. Acknowledge that I didn't banish you to a
Okay,
random
you
section.
didn't banish me. I'm sorry. I've been down to you, Jake.
You should. You went to the Jet game for free. You got a golf cart for free.
Well,
you
you
got a
didn't
tailgate
give
pass
us the
for
tickets.
free.
You didn't give
Wait a
us
second. Hold on,
nothing
wait.
for
Who got a
free.
golf
The
cart?
guy
How did you
gave
get
us
golf
tickets
carts?
for free.
No. You got a tailgate pass. You and your brother at Gotham City Crew for free instead of having to pay $55 each.
Yeah,
we took care of you.
You gave me that. Yeah.
Right. And your tickets were paid for free as well by a listener.
I know from that guy. I
Right. So
haven't
why?
seen him.
So why are you mad that you had an unbelievable experience? I don't understand.
I had a great experience.
The
at
guy
the
gave
end.
you tickets to go to the game because he's a listener of this show. We made
Yeah,
the
he was
connection for
great.
you.
What's his name? I forgot his name.
Yeah, Walter.
Walter, I miss you. Come on and talk to us. We miss you, Walter.
Also,
So,
just to be
Jeff-
proven right again, Clancy
Yes.
writes in, Jake was right with us when I got to the tailgate, Bobby. I watched you smoke weed, not ayahuasca, but continue.
Oh, well, you asked Nate what it was. Okay, Jeff.
Yes.
Nate, what was it?
First of all, Jake, it's a new strain called ayahuasca that Bobby was smoking.
Nate, thank you. Continue, Bobby.
Oh, okay. Maybe I said the wrong. Okay, well, I was high in 10 minutes, I tell you. And I had some screwdrivers. I haven't drank it for 18 years.
Wait a second.
I had 2 screwdrivers, yeah.
Screwdriver.
Michael
What are we in
stands.
college again?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, Jake Graves gave it to me. But I had to drink water. Nick, Shine, Hawk. Oh, I met
Look,
Hawk.
it's always. So Bobby, I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
Would you do it all over again?
Yes,
On Halloween
December
night?
1st. Yeah. Well, if it ends on that. Well, Sarah's coming next year. So when Sarah comes, we'll be there, definitely.
Yeah,
And
Sarah,
then,
Sarah, the
they
Australian
kidnapped
girl?
us for December 1st.
Yeah, actually,
Me
you
and
know
Mike
Sarah.
are going to be there, get Seattle Seahawks. Jake has to work. Now I remember that. See, Jake can remember that time.
There
Oh,
you
you
go.
have to. You have the
Yeah, ESPN for this 4:00 p.m.
I'm right.
But
I'm on right after the game.
He's going to be able to watch the game, but I always forget. But today I remembered. So, Jeff,
Good.
you had to see what Nick got us at the end of the night. Nick got this girl, Noelle, to come over. Oh, my God, Noelle.
Calm your freaky down.
I don't like that. Shut up. Leave me
Chill.
alone.
Calm your freaky down.
I'm telling you, she has.
Calm your freaky down.
Nick called the sweet cheek.
Calm your freaky down.
Okay, look at the
Enough.
video.
It's a family show.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I haven't cursed yet, so don't worry about it. So let me sing to Charles's father. What's his name again?
Dennis.
Dennis, right? Yeah, Dennis. Okay. Today's his birthday. Tomorrow.
She said. Charles said tomorrow.
Okay. Well, it's an early birthday present for him. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Dennis. Happy birthday to you. And I hope you have a great day tomorrow.
Oh, you know I like the Yankees and the Jets. Can't believe Jake and Roger met. I'm more than just a hat on Bobby.
That was a wild Bobby Midnight call there, Jake.
I just call
That
that
was
a tip.
a wild one. Wow.
That's just a Wednesday for me at this point with Bobby Midnight. Taking the
No,
man.
Bobby, that was a wild one. By the way, did his brother enjoy the game?
His brother had a great time. Mikey had a great time. Yeah, the videos of Mikey dancing. I posted a full recap video on the channel the other day. Jeff Gator edited a masterpiece of all the footage. Check that out when you're done. You'll love it.
I will. Absolutely.
All right, let's do potentially one last call for you, Jeff. Let's say hello to Gary. Hello, Gary.
What's up, Jake? How are you guys? Jeff, how are y'all?
Not too bad, Gary.
Good. First, the thing with the and I love Kyler Murray. I'll stand on it. He's the greatest high school quarterback ever to come out of Texas. 42-0 his junior and senior year with like the most incredible things. 100 passing touchdowns and another 40 rushing touchdowns. It's insane. That 100%. Being said, the video game thing is real. Like, what's it called? What's the name of the game?
Call of Duty.
Well, when that thing comes out, his stats decline for like 3 weeks in a row. It's real. Like, this is the perfect time. I'm not saying there's a trend. It happens every season. That game comes out, his performance sucks. It's been like 100% on the head. So that's something to stay positive about, is that Kyler Murray's head's going to be in the video game, not on the field. But also, Arizona's defense has to be really, really good. They just shut down Chef Caleb over in Chicago, and he's amazing. So their defense can't be that bad, right?
Look, I said it with Arizona's defense earlier. I just think more than anything, it's just that they have the same sort of DNA as Minnesota's defense. Like, they don't wow you with their talent, but they're schemed well. That's the thing that makes Arizona's defense tricky more so than anything. Am I saying the Jets are not going to be able to move the ball against them? No, I'm not saying that, because if the Jet offense really did turn a corner in the second half last week, Jets should be able to get in the mid to high 20s in this game, and that should be enough to win this game. Should be enough.
It's going to be played in the mid to high 20s. It's going to be a 28-24 type of game. If they win this game, and it's not impossible. Like, it's not impossible to beat the Cardinals.
Of course.
Where are we going to be? Are we just leading each other down Primrose Path? They get like, oh, we're back in it, and then we're going to get smashed to the Colts. Is that what's going to happen here?
No,
like
Gary. If they win this game, I mean, you know how this works. You've seen you follow this team a long time. If they win this game, we're back, baby. I mean, let's go. It's the hangover scene, man. We're back. Let's go.
I know what's going to happen. We're going to be 9-7.
We're back, man. We're back.
All we have to do is win our last game, and it's all in front of us. And then we go 9-8, and everyone else wins, and we miss out on a tiebreaker. I know that's how it ends already.
We're back, man. We're back.
Can already write the script.
Gary, I'll go one further than you on that. If they win this week and then beat Indy and get the 5-6, them being not make sure my math is right. Them being 9-6 going into Buffalo week 16, needing to split the last two games and then not finding a way to do it, is absolutely a possibility at that point.
Yeah. I said it at the beginning of the year. I think I said this after. I think it was the Pittsburgh loss. I said this because I expected them to beat New England like everyone else. I'm like, the most Jet-like thing to happen is they will be 9-8 and miss the playoffs, because that will be the most painful way to lament how bad these early season losses to crappy teams were. And then they lost to New England, so it felt over. It might still be over. We'll see what happens Sunday. But I still could see a path where they have some winnable games. They need to win late and they blow it again. And it's typical Jets.
I mean, look, it's not a long shot. I mean, how many 2-6 teams ever? I don't know the answer. How many 2-6 teams ever have made the playoffs? It can't be more than a handful.
I think it's 5, but I have to double check that.
So, I mean, so you're saying there's a possibility, right? So you're saying there's a chance. But, I mean, look, they just got to go run the table now. They got to go beat Seattle. They got to go beat the Colts. And they can win these games. It's just now, after playing bad for 5 weeks in a row, now you have to play good basically every single week for the rest of the season. It can be done. My Mets did it, right? But,
yeah.
I mean, maybe it can strike twice. It's not over. These games are winnable Just one week at a time. Just like let's beat Arizona, and then like just extend the season. Just keep kicking the can down the road. If we keep winning, the games keep meaning things. So just win this week.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jake.
Someone in the room right now?
No, Decker just came home. Decker, you want to come say hi?
My God.
Hey guys.
Oh, you're not on.
Decker.
Hello.
Hi, Decker.
Hi.
How was school today?
I'm homeschooled.
Oh, you're homeschooled.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Mhm.
Did you learn anything interesting today?
No.
No? That's all right. That's how I felt about school, too. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Anyway. Keep up the great work, Decker. You're the best part of your dad's calls.
Okay.
All right. You want to hear the chicken and pasta song for old time's sake?
Yes, please.
All right. Coming right up. Stand by. In fact, I might even have some chicken and pasta tonight. Here you go, Decker. Enjoy.
Chicken doesn't go with pasta. Don't you know it's disgusting? Chicken can't go with pasta. Why? Because of the texture. Instead, go get yourself pizza at the closest Shell gas station. Cause chicken don't go with pasta. I just discovered dogs are pets.
Incredible. Jeff, excellent job out of you today. You really brought the heat. The calls were tremendous. You attract some of the great Asmaniac interactions.
Look. When we start off the show with Neil, obviously, but then Charles Gorman apologizing for talking politics, which I need to now go check out the Discord to see what mess that created in there. Man, look, Jake, I'm going to say what I said to you last Wednesday. Find a way for the Jets. And again, I am picking Arizona to win this game. I hope I'm wrong. But if the Jets can just keep stacking wins, we can continue to be delusional about this team. And the longer we can be delusional about this team, the more fun this season starts becoming. So let's see what happens. And look, I'm going to feel a lot better about this team moving forward if they find a way to win on Sunday. I really will.
Yeah, well, especially, too, by the way, just from the standpoint of they only play twice this entire month. So what the heck am I talking about if they lose Sunday and then they play the Colts, then it's the bye week, and then they don't play again until December 1st? That's crazy.
Yeah, well, weird schedule, man. Weird schedule when they were basically playing every other day the first 9 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I didn't sleep for the first 2 months. Anyway, Jeff, great job, man. I'll talk to you soon. Appreciate your time as always.
See you next week, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Parles live from Las Vegas. This is from the library of Gator McCluskey. Sometimes when you got to rip one, you just got to rip one. Ladies and gentlemen, if you missed the Charles call earlier, I have a funny feeling you'll be seeing that again in a Best of the Jake Asman show in the future.
Excuse me.
Sometimes he's got to rip one. Charles Gorman. More of your calls. Rob, the Jet fans next. Hey, Rob.
Hey, how you doing, Jake?
What's up, Rob? How are you?
Sorry I missed Jeff. Yeah, just calling. I wanted to say thanks for being in the top 25. I still seek to go past the 18. So got to ask Tom Ace what I need to do to get up higher.
You got to bring it, Tom. You got to bring it, Rob. It's Tom Ace. It's Rich. It's Boomtown. They put it all together.
Tell them if I can smash the rest of that brick over my head if need be. Or I can smash it over Allen's head. Maybe that would score me some points. Whatever it takes to move up the top 10. Me and Neil are aimed to get up to the top 10. So we might do something together, me and Neil, and I don't know, maybe go into someone's town and wreak some havoc or something. Whatever it takes. We got to get up to the Asmaniac top 10. Whatever it takes, buddy. But I'm calling because I was a little disappointed, Jake, that they didn't sign Quentin Jefferson. I really think that would have been a good signing. It would have shored up the tackle position. He gives you some sacks. I don't understand why they didn't go for that, but yet they managed to get rid of Williams, which I wasn't nuts about. I mean, they got a 5th-round pick, not terrible. That's decent value. But you know what? I kind of think that he was on Aaron Rodgers' kind of shit list because, when he spoke in McAfee, you could kind of tell the way he was speaking. He kind of almost wished him, good luck on another team. But he's a quiet guy. It took him a while, to get up to par with the season because he had that injury and I had the same injury. It didn't really seem like Aaron wanted him on the team anymore, to be honest with you. Did you kind of sense that?
I just think Aaron lost faith in him. So I think it was like, yeah, he could be on the team. That's fine. But, I don't trust him to have a real role on this team.
No, I agree. I really do. So I think that had a lot to do with it. I know Corley made that boneheaded play, but they do got to get him involved because the talent is there. Let's be honest. If he doesn't drop that ball prior to the goal line, we're talking about him and saying, oh, my God, Corley looks great. We got to get him more involved. Everyone would have been so high on him making that end-around run like that. I mean, that would have been fantastic. So we can't give up on him, obviously. Corley's got to get involved. Gibson, I tell you, I'm with the majority. I don't have faith in Gibson at all. I don't know why Bonesy thinks that he's so good. I really don't. I don't think he's a good wide receiver. I don't really have faith in him and or of Charles either. I would probably look more into Malachi Corley. And then if I never thought I would say this, Jake, but to be honest with you, if what's his name comes back from injury, why am I blanking on his name? Lazard. Yeah, if Lazard comes back, because you know what? Lazard drops some passes, which I hate, but you know what? For whatever reason, him and Aaron Rodgers, they have something. They have something, and he'll make some sometimes tremendous catches, like right up the seam of the middle of the field, which most of our receivers really don't, other than Wilson now. So I would take my chances with Lazard and take my chances now with Malachi Corley, insert those guys and see what we got.
Now, Rob, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You're trying to rank higher on the monthly power rankings?
That would be nice. That would be nice.
All right. Let's give you a chance.
Warning! Warning! Allen alert! Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning! Allen alert! Hide the children.
Love the segue. What's going on, Rob? How are you?
He is my best buddy, Alan.
If you want to get into the top 10, you just need to beat up somebody on camera. That's it.
I think so. Can you come out? Can you come over?
I will fly to New York. I will be the guinea pig just for you, man.
Awesome. Oh, I'd be so happy. Me and you will be friends after that.
Oh no, that's never going to happen. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was only kidding.
No, I appreciate that.
Alan,
thank you so much.
Listen to me. Alan, listen to me. I am scared of this game because I think Arizona and Kyler Murray, the way that guy can run and stuff, and people underrate him. That guy is a talented quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. They're going to give us some problems. But if we truly turn the corner from the last game and Aaron plays anything like the second half of the last game, and it's a little bit of a scoring duel, we can still win this game. It'll be a high-scoring game in the high 20s, but we could win this game.
This team has proven year after year on long layoffs, they always lay an egg early. So, can I see them being down? Can I see them being down 2 scores early? I could. The matchup against the matchup against Trey McBride is really, really tough.
He's a good tight end.
Such a talent. They have 3 running backs that they switch off. They ran for 213 last week. And as you said with Murray, his agility worries me more than his arm. Honestly.
Me too. Me too.
I don't think they have the guys on the outside to get him.
I will say Marvin Harrison has been a slight disappointment so far. Ever so slight. I hate to say it. I think Malik Neighbors has been better this year so far. So far.
Yes.
And he has an awful quarterback throwing to him. Awful quarterback. So, I mean, this could be a high-scoring game, and hopefully we could win a 28-27, 28-24 game, which I could see happening. But we had to be able to stop the run with Connor too. I mean,
what's happening here? I thought we were going to get some fireworks, not a healthy football discussion.
Well,
we're on
we're
the same
discussing the
page.
game.
We know. I mean, we both agree that Bonesy's a moron when it comes to Jody, so I understand that.
There we go.
We know
I
that.
won't say that because Bonesy is my Goomba, and I love Bonesy, but I hate to say it, I don't agree with him with Gibson. I don't think Gibson is the deal. I think Gibson is maybe a fifth starter at best. I mean, I don't think he's that good. I really don't.
No. And Jake, as far as what I heard from Joe Douglas, he sounds like a guy who's ready to leave. He does. He sounds like he has 9 toes out the door. I honestly believe
JD?
Yes, he doesn't sound like he wants to be here anymore. He sounds like there are guys above him making decisions over him.
The only thing better than Alden shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bonesy, he
You
sounds like a beaten guy.
say my name. I hear you. I'm listening. I show up.
Bonesy, they should have gotten Quentin Jefferson. Shame on JD. Shame on him. Shame on him.
Rob, I agree. We probably should have brought him in, but he is a pass rusher. He is not a run stopper, and we need
No,
pass
he's not
rusher.
bad against the run. Oh, who do we have better than him right
Quentin
now? Who do we
Jefferson
have?
is a pass rusher.
He is. He's
No,
an
but he
interior pass
is
rusher.
decent against the run. He is decent against the run. He's not bad against the run. It would be better than the crap that we have right now with
All right,
Kinlaw.
well, Rob, I get that, but let's not like kill JD for picking up somebody who just got cut mid-season. All right, let's relax.
Yeah, but you know what, Bonesy? I don't think Gibson's a good receiver at all. That guy is not a number 3. He's not. Come on.
We don't know that yet, Rob. We don't know that.
Yeah, but
You don't know. None of us know that. You really don't. Nobody knows what he
You want
is.
to roll the dice with that right now when we're trying to make the playoffs? You want to roll the dice?
But
I
do
don't.
you think that like maybe Corley is ready? And it's like, listen, Mike
I hope
Williams ain't
so.
performing on the field, right? We're
I
all
hope
like,
so.
yo, why aren't we seeing Corley? It's because we can't even get enough reps to make Mike Williams happy. So how the hell are we going to get Corley in there?
I'm with you. I'm with you with Corley. Now's the time to see if this guy is worth it because he was a 3rd round pick. And you know what? All right, he made a boneheaded, stupid move by dropping the ball. It doesn't mean he doesn't have talent. He just needed a scolding from his coach, which Albrecht didn't say nothing to him because he was laughing on the sideline.
Hey, Bonesy, the GM sounded like he's defeated. He did.
Agreed. He does seem he seems like he didn't want to fire Saleh and Woody went over his head. That's 100%. You could tell.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't want to say anything bad about Saleh, so you could tell that definitely happened. And he does, man. Listen, I really believe that there's a chance that he doesn't want to even be back. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't even want to be here anymore. You know?
Yeah, I don't think so.
If they
Look,
lose
as
Sunday,
bad as I am,
if they lose Sunday against the Cards, and they're basically playing out the string, I would not be surprised if they part ways by Thanksgiving. Like Loki.
No way. Douglas will not be gone unless they're mathematically eliminated within like 2 or 3 weeks, and they just lose multiple games.
They might have 8-9 losses by Thanksgiving. You never know.
I'm not going there yet. Look, everyone wants to always hit me for being a Joe Douglas lover. The only reason why I get so like defensive and stuff is because nobody will ever just talk about what he did good and what he did bad. I will talk about both. He didn't get the quarterback last year. He didn't cut the kicker this year. Becton over worse. He hired the wrong coach. He drafted Zach Wilson. I understand all the bad things he did, but you can also talk about all the good things he's did. It's not like he's never done anything good, and he's done a lot of good. It's just he's had a lot of misses too, but that's what GMs do. And we were like, we're so close to just being on the right track and him being like it was this summer when it was like, man, he got Morgan Moses for free. He signed John Simpson, who looks really good. He signed the best left tackle we could get at the time, and it's just not working out. But he's also drafted Tittman, who's going to be a future center for us. Look at the defensive young talent that he's drafted on day 3 that is going to be the future of our team. He's done a lot of good things. If you go back to the beginning, when he was trading Jamal Adams for 2 firsts and a third, and Sam Darnold for a 2, 4, and 6, and we draft Chris Herndon in the 4th round, he gets a 4th round back. Blake Cashman doesn't touch the field, he gets a 6th. He's done. He is a good GM. On draft day, he knows what he's doing. He moves up the board. Every time Joe Douglas has moved up the board, it's been a hit. AVT, Jermaine Johnson, Brees Hall, Tittman, Corley, we don't know yet. But he's not bad at his job. You guys make him sound like he's the worst GM ever. Everybody
Bonesy.
makes mistakes.
Bonesy, this is 2 things. This is a results business.
Agreed.
32 games under 500, number 1. And number 2, I look at you and I think you're looking back at what happened before with McCagnon and Idzik, and you're comparing Douglas, who is semi-competent, against 2 guys who were completely incompetent. Again, you can't do a comparison. That's the problem. And you make the comment, oh, who can we get better? Again, after 6 years, if you're 32 games under 500, it's time to see the door. Unfortunately, it's the truth. That's why I laugh when both you and Dre are like, oh, you don't judge the GM based on record. It makes no sense, that comment.
I don't say that completely. You have to, of course, that's probably the most important thing. But when you look into the context, the last time this happened and Christopher Johnson took over, we got McCagnon, who was drafting players like Ja'Kai Polite in the 3rd round who doesn't even hit the field. Hold on, Alan. McCagnon signed Le'Veon Bell and Tremaine Johnson for max contracts, and we had to dig ourselves out of a hole. Joe Douglas has our cap in fucking money, and we have Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, who are probably going to still give us more money back because that's what kind of people they are. It's just like the thing. We also still have Aaron Rodgers. I'm not giving up on this man this year yet. I'm not doing it until we're out. So.
Maybe one of the last couple times we could play it. Bonesy's still going to bat for JD. Incredible. We have yet to gain any memberships this show. So if you want to get the membership, we will shout you out. If Tom Ace, Rich, or Peter get a membership, I'll send you an item in the merch store. Oh, Robert C. as well. We have a lot of people that don't have memberships right now. So if anyone gives them memberships, we will shout you out. Appreciate the support. Let's say hello to Doug on the porch. Hey, Doug.
Couldn't get on the couch today, unfortunately. Had to move some things around, but I'll get on the couch eventually. But
hold on 1 second. I misspoke. I didn't see this. Grail became a member earlier in the show. Grail, this is for you.
Excuse me.
Thank you, Grail. Continue.
Got to respect how he's a straight shooter, that Charles Gorman there.
Calls it how it is.
What a day for the Asmaniacs. We had the meeting of the summits just right there. Bobby Midnight and I made peace within seconds earlier today. I gotta say, like, the Asmaniacs are healing the world.
Look, this community doesn't see right or left. No. We just see jet green, and that's what we all need to remember.
We see green and white, and it brings us enough sadness already.
That's right.
We don't need the outside world bringing us. We already get enough for that. The Jets literally made me sick a couple weeks ago when they lost to the Patriots. I was sick from it. That's how bad this team hurts me. So, but I agree with what you said on JD. You were playing the devil's advocate when you were talking to Jeff, but and I hate to say it, but I kind of agree with Alan with what he was saying. Like, he does have the vibe like Joe Douglas just wants to get out.
He does. He sounds dead. He knows he doesn't have a contract, but I do wonder what would happen if they did go on a run. Like, would all of a sudden that change things?
And it's the same with Olbrich too, because I'm starting to see where people are saying 9-8 gets you in. I think that agrees, because you look at the teams ahead of you, look who they have to play. The Chiefs, the Chargers are going to have to play the Broncos, I think, or they already done playing each other. But the Broncos and Chargers don't have an easy schedule. You play the Colts, so you play a lot of the teams ahead of you. I think 9-8 might be. I think 10 definitely gets you in, but I just don't see us only losing one more game the rest of the way.
I think 9 would get them in, though. I do. I think you look at the schedules of these teams in front of them, 9 might be enough.
I agree. But that's why I say 10 definitely gets you in. 9
100%.
Maybe. But I just don't see us only losing one game. I've been a positive Jet fan for a long time, but again, the Patriot loss broke me, so it's hard for me to be positive right now. For me to be fully back believing, okay, yeah, we're gonna get it. I think we have to win the next 2 games for me fully to be back believing okay, let's go after the bye. We can really rattle them off. And a lot of the games are also looking tougher than we originally thought. I think the Rams game will be a lot tougher than the Seahawks game because the Seahawks traveling west and the Seahawks just Geno Smith throws some of the craziest interceptions you'll ever see. Like I watched that game the other day because I have a bunch of guys in that game who are on my fantasy team, and Geno Smith just throws the wildest interceptions you'll ever see. It's like Geno, what are we doing here?
Well, that game this past week I have Geno on one of my teams too. Was Pete Geno? I mean,
Yeah,
3 touchdowns, 3 picks. One of them pick six, 106 yards. Crazy.
And I think it was that one after the pick six where he literally just threw it right to the Rams guy. It was like it was the second one in the red zone. It was like that little flat route, and he just threw it right to the Rams defender. So yeah, that for me to get fully believing, I think we have to win the next 2 games to get the full belief back in. I think that's what it is for most Jets fans. Would you agree that you have to win the next 2? They got like the full okay, we can do this.
If they win on Sunday and look good, like the Rodgers-led offense builds on what we saw, I'm going to be like, okay, like Aaron's healthy. Mm-hmm. He had not been healthy since he had his breakout game week 3. I really believe there's something to everyone's like, oh, New England stinks, but no, how he looked that game was the story. He was mobile. He was making plays off schedule, off platform. He looked like Aaron Rodgers, and that second half, he looked like Aaron Rodgers last week. So he's not on the injury report this week. He was a full participant. Like he said, he feels like a jackrabbit with all the energy. And like if he looks like Aaron Rodgers and they win with him at quarterback, this team could still be the team we thought they could be because they haven't had that quarterback play that we thought we were getting this year with some of the other issues they've had around him. So it changes things if they win and he plays well.
And again, this was the first game where you saw the Devontae Garrett Wilson effect. Like that's the positives. And even like the play before the incredible Garrett Wilson catch, the most encouraging play was the Rodgers scramble on where the Olu hold called it back. Like that was the most encouraging play outside of all the other stuff because you saw Rodgers be mobile, you saw he looked good. So if we can continue that, I think for me, you have to win this game, and then if they win the Colts game decisively, I'll be back in because the Colts are a team I could see us like that's a good matchup for us. So you win the Colts game decisively, then I'll be all the way back in. Yeah, I agree with all the stuff about JD. I will try and call from the couch tomorrow. Just my new roommate has a girlfriend who pretty much lives here, dampening the mood.
Oh, new roommate's got a girlfriend. Are you friends with your roommate?
Yeah, but like he said she would be here a lot, not living here. There's a difference, you know.
Oh, it sounds like you might have to have a tough conversation with your roommate.
So she was in the living room, and I didn't want to sit there in the living room when she was there, and that's where the couch is, unfortunately. So I came out to the porch. It's actually kind of warm out in Boston tonight, so
it's 75 degrees. It's beautiful in New York.
So I was like, I'll just go sit on the porch for a little bit while I'm waiting for my DoorDash of salad.
Can you give a message to your roommate for me, though?
What is it?
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Yeah, I will not because that's weird. But yeah, good for him.
Well, Doug, thanks for the time. And I'm reading the chat. Tom Ace, assert your dominance, Doug. Henny. Doug kicked off his couch. Man. Jeff, Doug, get your roommate's girl off your couch. Tom, she better start paying rent. Ted, she must be annoying. Nah, tough. Real tough. Real tough. Carmen says, Jake, do I need to buy a membership or do I have one? You currently don't have one. You might have had one gifted to you that expired because there's no badge next to your name. Zalik says, did Chris Johnson really acknowledge the Gase mistake? I thought he thinks Gase is a great coach. Gase is a great coach. Gase is Kyle Shanahan before Kyle Shanahan. He did think that, as did Colin Cowherd, of course. But I'll tell you what. I was told this by multiple people when I was out in London. The last time the Jets played in London, not this past October, but when they played the Falcons in 2021, Salah's first year, Chris Johnson went around to the Jets pub that was out there, to fans inside that pub, and was openly apologizing to fans for the Gase hire. So he cares. He's very personable. I met him once, and I found him to be way more engaging than my interaction with Woody, which was at the same exact time at the Hall of Fame ceremony, last August. So if CJ's going to be back with Woody probably going abroad again with Trump winning last night, it all comes down to who you hire. That's it. Joe writes in, Doug, get rid of the roommate and move in with Bobby. Bobby, if you're still watching, call him. Let's find out if you'd be open to living with Doug. Doug says, I agree. She needs to pay rent. Yeah, we're going to have to work on that. All right, let me ask this for everyone out there. What percentage of the rent should this girl have to pay? How does that work? How do the roommate dynamics work for that? These are the questions we have. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is...
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. I'm not living in Massachusetts. We could live in New York together if you want, but not Massachusetts. I'm not living in that smelly city. Thank you.
Where in New York?
Queens or near the stadium. I have the opposite happen to... Me and Michael let this girl live with us, right? Because we felt bad for her.
Where were you living?
Another apartment, 929 Western Avenue. It's like 2 minutes away from here. But she took advantage of us, right? She had a dumbass boyfriend move in, and he was a lazy ASS, right? I couldn't stand him anymore. I had to throw his ass out. Like, they had sex all the time. I had to turn on my music to drown it. And then, oh, I have a job. You don't have a job. You're here all freaking day, idiot. So we threw both of them out. I thought we would do it. She took Michael's car out, and Michael had to pick up his friend Heather. But we didn't know where dummy was. So she comes home, no gas in the car, little gas. She never paid for that. Oh, I know what Doug is going through, but it was the opposite. It was the girlfriend.
So she paid no money in rent?
She did pay rent, but she didn't help. When she took the car out, she didn't do anything with the gas.
Wow.
Well, I did fart, on the, at the game. I did fart.
Thank you for sharing.
Well, I know. Well, that Charles is funny. That video was funny. I wouldn't do that live, but it's funny. I like his comment too. That's what you were laughing about more than the video, right? His comment.
I respected the honesty. He's like, you know what? I just
I know it was funny. He just came out and said that. Yeah, that's me.
Have you farted on the Bobby Midnight Show?
I think I did. I think it's. I know I slept on the Bobby Midnight Show. I slept on your show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's me.
That was you?
Yeah, that was me on.
You dog. Bobby.
Yeah, I know. Well,
let's say hello to Scott. He's up next on the show. What's up, Scott?
Hi, Scott.
Oh, he's sleeping.
He must be in high heaven there, boy.
Scott, wake
up,
man.
You sound like a lawnmower. Oh, my God. Look at that nasal drop.
Scott, wake up. Wake up, Scott.
I'm going.
Hold on, let's see if I can wake him up.
Scott calling in. Whoa, what's the matter? What the hell is that?
Scott.
Do the horn.
Bobby, he's knocked out.
Do the horn.
Scott.
Do
Hold
the
on,
horn.
wake up.
Wake up! I don't think we're gonna I think he's on high right there. I think he had
Scott. I don't think he's waking up, Bobby. What do we do?
I think he should boot his ass out. That's what I would do.
Boot his ass out?
Yep. All right.
Bye, Scott. Go back to bed.
Oh my God, that was worse than I snore. My ex-wife said I snored, but I didn't sound like that. I do snore, but not that bad.
Yeah, no, this has been a wild show.
I know, it's been crazy. Bonesy, you better get on my show today. He's at home.
Are you doing a show tonight?
Yeah, after your show.
Oh.
If he doesn't come on my show tonight after I get on, he's going to be in big trouble. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, we're going to have fun on December 1st. I think we're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great time the last time. Nick said we could get the tickets right there at the stadium.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper, too, to go in, he said. I don't know how. Well, Shea Stadium used to do that when we used to go Shea. Could buy the tickets right there. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind, but not Massachusetts. I don't know what part of Massachusetts. I want to live in that state. I would like to live back in New York. I miss New York so much. Then we don't have to deal with trains and cars. You can take this crazy taxis that run you over,
Yeah.
Or the bike. You imagine me on that bicycle. I wouldn't last too long on that bike.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I fall off. He takes pizza and he rides throughout the thing. Then he has soda. Then he goes off. I can't balance that. Did I tell you the story after we got off the train what we found?
What did you find?
We found black and white cookies.
Ah.
We brought it the next day home, 2 of them.
That's delicious.
I know. We didn't have New York pizza, though.
Which side of the cookie do you eat first?
I like the vanilla, then see the chocolate.
Oh, you racist.
No, I like the vanilla first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
You gotta eat it right down the middle.
No, I savored the chocolate last.
Oh.
Michael eats the chocolate first, then eats the vanilla.
Of course he does.
Yeah, you had you liked him dancing. That was good.
Oh, yeah.
Nick says he must have bad knees. No, he walked great. We were sound asleep when we got to the hotel. Clancy drove us to the hotel.
Did you guys share a bed?
Great. What?
Did you guys share a bed?
No, we had 2 beds. Oh,
Nice.
That bed was so good. I didn't get up to go to the bathroom at all. Usually I go at least once. Last night I woke up once to go to the bathroom.
Wow.
I had like 10 hours sleep last night. So after my show, I said, I'm getting tired. And you know what was on last night? I'm not bringing that up because it was boring. It went to 11 o'clock last night. Somebody stayed up to 4 o'clock in the morning. You know him, Alan.
It went way past 11 o'clock last night. They didn't officially call it in some spots till like 6 a.m.
Really? I was sound asleep. I didn't give a crap,
No?
Yeah.
I voted for you, by the way. I wrote you in on my ballot.
I wrote it, what you call it? Mickey Mouse.
I wrote Bobby Midnight 2024.
Mickey Mouse is better.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you didn't flag Bonesy for his F word. Family show, Bonesy. Family show.
Yep.
I heard that F-bomb coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny. Rob and Alan are very civil now. They were on my show the other night.
For now.
No. I mean, they were civil. You know how Rob wanted to rip his neck off? They were calm as collective when they were talking.
Calm as collective. Love it.
Yeah. All right. So you have a great night. If you want to come to my show, you could join.
Maybe
And
I'll
don't worry
I'll pop
about
in.
Michael. What?
Maybe I'll pop in.
Don't worry about Michael Young saying that stuff. That was
I thought Michael and I were friends. What happened there?
I know. You gave me enough. That's fine. You give me enough. And Michael, I said, Michael, don't worry about it. We made some good money yesterday. We had like 15 memberships yesterday on the show.
You deserve it.
Well, you deserve it too. You have 40,000. Sports Fury has like 264,000. They made it over 100K. That's where Georgie's from. Yvette got a membership on my channel. That's his wife.
Love it.
She plays Jeopardy on their Discord. All right. So anybody on the phone next?
Scott's back. Hey, Scott. He's still sleeping.
Oh my God! I can't believe he's doing that. Oh.
I know.
All right. Carry on.
I'll let you go, Bob. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, I'll go. No problem.
All right. Farewell.
Well, I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg on Bobby.
Man. Wish Scott would wake up. Hit the like button on your way out of here. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Been a wild show with Jeff Parles. That's going to do it for us. We are back tomorrow at a very special time. 8 a.m. Nick Faria in his weekly spot on the show, just bumping it up 2 hours early. I'm headed to a bachelor party across the border So I got to do a show early tomorrow. So I got a flight to catch. I want to thank the audience for supporting the show as always. Please join the Patreon if you haven't already. It's a lot of fun in the Discord chat. You get discounts in the merch store. We updated the list of names for November. So if you signed up in October, guess what? Your name has now been added to the intro. So thank you to everyone who signed up and continues to support me as I make this my full-time job for the foreseeable future. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. We're back tomorrow. Everyone sit back and enjoy one of the all-time great videos that Gator McCluskey ever produced.
Stop. What's up, Jake?
You're embarrassing yourself.
Oh, shit.
Stop.
Let me ask you something, ass man. What do you think of Zach Wilson?
He stinks.
Thank God he's gone. He never scores no fucking touchdown.
He stinks.
The second pick for number 2 destroyed the Jets' cause.
He stinks.
As maniacs kick so much ass, but some of them, they kill the vibe and make the show a freaking mess. So Jake reminds them.
He stinks.
When Allen calls, he speaks the hate. That cartoon douche, he trashed the Jets. Let Bobby know, cause he's the man who will find him.
He stinks.
Another call comes from the car. Distorted voice and no Wi-Fi. That's JJ with a crap-ass phone. Just cut him off the call.
He stinks.
Is that gas station pizza? Come on, Gary.
He stinks.
Chicken don't go with pasta. Just get out of here, Jake.
The guy is terrible. Enough.
I lied. No super chats get left behind. Doug says, I feel like I've earned a Gator intro. Although the worst possible thing you could do to try and get an intro on the show is ask for one. It's a lot like Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club is what, Doug? Anyway, no super chats left behind. Thank you all for the support. JETS, Jets.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
Only on this show, dude. Only on this show.
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
Get in the hole!